Peace. Firstborn, another Dark Christ memoir. Yo, the topic I want to deal with today is the whole lunar moon striking mission that occurred back in October. And if you all know me, you know I don't like to just deal with it from a political level or a sociological level or a medialistic level on how the media spins it. I like to deal with it from what is the energies and forces behind it in relation to those of us who are seeking to reflect the character and energy emanations of the Creator through spirit. The mission, the lunar moon striking mission on paper, was about them sending a projectile to the moon because they had apparently discovered water on the moon prior to this, and they wanted to send a projectile in order to cause a disturbance so that they can measure the reactions and determine whether there is ice and water there to the level that maybe we can inhabit the moon, which is very powerful in a metaphorical way. Now, also, let's say this. I'm very aware that there are many who deal on the conspiratorial level of the different factions of Masons and Illuminati and world orders and their agendas and how they interplay in certain situations like these, because I know that NASA has many others who are behind it who do have agendas, but I don't deal with it from that perspective for the simple matter that, to me, in all honesty, all of those entities, all of those institutions, all of those individuals are mere puppets of providential forces and energies of a collective being and system that I call the Creator, that many people call God. So they operate to serve us. They operate to serve those who are seeking to operate as Elohim. Period. Anyhow, when I was looking at this situation and it dealing with them attempting to strike the moon, the first thing that always strikes in my mind is that every physical thing has a spiritual representation that directly relates to who we are and what we are on the spiritual level, more so than how we are on the physical level here in this earth, eating, sleeping, trying to get jobs. So when I heard about this whole ordeal, first thing I thought about was the object of the moon and the significance of the moon spiritually in relation to man. And if you've ever studied the Kabbalistic tree of life, then on the tree of life there are 10 spheres which represent the body of God in man and the collective body of God. And the sphere that relates to the moon is the 9th sphere, known as Yesod, or foundation. And to give a summary, complete idiot's guide, quick summary, the sphere of Yesod is a sphere that represents the psychological inner mind and emotional construct of man, and it is a conduit designed to be a receiver of light and a reflector of light through the subconscious to the consciousness of man in this outer world that we deal with. Okay, so you can see immediately, if you understand the purpose of the moon, how they correlate, because the moon's sole purpose in relationship to us is to be a receiver of the light of the sun, or the light of life of our known universe, and a reflector of that light to us. And we all know that the moon is very powerful in how it affects currents of waves, water movement, also how it affects our emotional perceptual paradigm, whether it be in a full moon, half moon, and its gravitational effects on our perception of ourselves and how we feel. So when I saw that this was some type of mission to strike the moon with a projectile, I initially and immediately saw the projectile being a seed or a catalyst to create life, and the moon being a feminine entity, being a womb and a place for that new life to be given form, develop, and mature. And I saw this as being a situation that is highly beneficial for man, because the moon, just like all of the ancient pagan moon goddesses, has to do with the faculty of the feminine energies of man. And the feminine energies of God in man have been suppressed so that a small percentage of men could control other men. Because if you can't operate and understand what's happening with you internally, subconsciously, and it was designed for you to understand that so that you could transfer and communicate energies from the Creator into the world of man through your actions, through what you manifest, through your words, actions, and deeds, then you become an entity that can be controlled. And you become an entity that cannot control your own destiny. So I say that to say the moon is very significant when you see a circumstance and situation like this moon striking mission occur. The numerology on it, the mission, the striking of the object on the moon occurred on October 9th. 9 is a very powerful and important number. 9 is the number of fruition. As I said before, the Sephirot of Yesod on the Kabbalistic tree is 9. So it has to deal with energies coming into form. Like the code you see on the Matrix when they were looking at the agents and everything. After 9, it comes into manifestation. We see everything from the realm of manifestation, but do not understand where it comes from, so we do not have control over our lives and how to interface with the material world from a spiritual perspective. So when you look at the number 9, it's about the conduit, or bridging the conduit of how things manifest spiritually and are given birth into the physical. October 9th was the day the missile projectile struck. The sphere of Yesod is the 9th sphere, so it has very much to do with restirring life, or restirring, giving us an opportunity to understand that we're in a season of reconnecting, remembering, re-understanding our inner psychological self as a receiver of divine light. Also, the sphere of Yesod is the 2nd sphere if you count it from the bottom. The number 2 is about bringing balance into the earth, bringing balance into order, the balance between light and darkness, the balance between the seed and the womb creates an environment so that birth can take place. I know that the conspiracists will say that this was an attempt to create an environment where the different powers and New World Order could control and balance what type of life comes into the earth. But if you look at it from the level that I perceive through my third eye, then it's dealing with those of us who have eyes to see and ears to hear, regaining a greater level of balance in the terrain of our spiritual light body, which allows us to balance and control the light that is birthed into the earth, giving us the balance and control to utilize understanding of our inner man and to manifest different energy fields and characteristics of the Creator into the material earth. That's what this striking of the moon mission had to do with. Had to do with the impregnation on the spiritual level of a seed of catalyzing new life into the womb of our subconscious. So if you have an eye to see and an ear to hear, pay attention to your dreams. Pay attention to your intuition. The feminine energies of man are rebalancing themselves, because the feminine energies of man have to deal with the spiritual aspect of who we are. So the lunar moon strike mission, they were looking to see if they could get back to the moon, find water so that we could habitate it. But spiritually, it was about finding life within ourselves so we can habitate more properly the inner world of ourselves and understand how to manifest the character and energies of the Creator. This is powerful for all of us. So holla. This is for all those who have an ear to hear and an eye to see. I love y'all. It's another Dark Christ memoir. Holla.